Nader Rayan is spending his second night in jail tonight, locked up on 16 charges, most of them felonies.
He's pleaded not guilty this morning during his first appearance in court. Rayan also goes by the name John, and he's the manager of Beaches Memorial Park and its sister company, First Coast Funeral Home. The Atlantic Beach businesses have been the subject of a 3-month-long I-Team investigation. Our I-Team has been taking a closer look at Rayan's arrest, that is. Lynnsey Gardner with new details about accusations Rayan sold grave markers for scrap. We begin with Jennifer Waugh. She talked with the families who say that Rayan's arrest is a good first step, but that more needs to be done.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I was just so happy.
Eddie Brown says he hopes John Rayan's arrest will spare other families the same heartbreak his family experienced.
With my health and then this coming on, it's been kind of hard for me to grieve, you know, because I have to keep my focus.
Brown, who is battling cancer, says not only did his family have to wait nearly 3 hours for their mother to be buried because Beaches Memorial Cemetery put the wrong vault in the ground, but he says Rayan insisted he pay more than $1,000 for the vault, even though he had already paid for it years ago when he bought a pre-need contract for his mother.
Nobody should do that to someone, loved one that's deceased, you know? It's supposed to be a ground of peace. They're not bringing peace.
Al Bourgeois says his family still hasn't found peace after his mother died, but Rayan's arrest is a good start.
My wife called me and told me, it says, you need to watch the 5 o'clock news when you get home. I'm recording it. And I said, why? She goes, they just arrested John. And I went, bingo! I said, yes, finally, there's a little bit of justice.
Bourgeois still has the contract he signed with John Rayan, paying $2,995 in January for a nameplate to be placed on his mother's crypt. 7 months later, it is still not there.
I don't know how he sleeps at night because he knows that he's doing wrong.
We were there when Rayan was arrested.
How do you explain yourself?
I'm not I don't have a master in business, so I don't have the knowledge or background that requires to run a cemetery. I don't.
Maybe not, but that's not what Rayan has been telling his friends on Facebook. His page is public. He posted about his college degree from St. Leo University in 2007, graduating with a business administration degree with a concentration in business management. And 4 years earlier posted that he graduated from Florida State College at Jacksonville in 2003 with a 3.8 GPA with a degree in business accounting and management.
You have been meeting with everyone who has come in and taken their money and not provided services.
I've deposited into a business account, ma'am.
But you haven't provided the services, sir.
I didn't know how to.
You don't know how to provide the services? When someone brings you money, pays you for a headstone or for a marker or a crypt plate?
Rayan faints, eventually sitting back up a few minutes later before being taken to jail. Eddie Brown says now he can focus on what's really important.
What do you miss the most?
My mom.
Anything about her or just all of it?
Everything. Everything.
Brown and Bourgeois, along with many of the families of the people that you see here, now want their money back. And for those who still don't have markers, they want the state to help put them in place. Now, we have also learned this is not Rayan's first time in jail. He's been arrested 4 times before, including a charge of impersonating a police officer. Jennifer Waugh, Channel 4, the local station.
I-Team investigator Lynnsey Gardner continues our coverage now. She went to the scrapyard today where investigators say Rayan sold 2 grave markers belonging to veterans.
Those grave markers were intended for the final resting place for 2 veterans here at Beaches Memorial. One family member tells me tonight she feels like she's being forced to relive her father-in-law's death over and over again because of the Rayans. And now she's not even sure she has his proper ashes. It was no ordinary day at work for Michelle Perry and Dorothy Norton at Beaches Recycling Center last month. Both recall Beaches Memorial Cemetery manager John Rayan walking in and acting strangely. They snapped this photo of him and the items he was selling, 2 grave markers for veterans, plus several 2015 marker plates and a vase.
He was just very scared that day. He wasn't normal. It was shady.
Rayan provided this paperwork saying he and Beaches Memorial were the rightful owner to the property he was selling. But Norton remembered the business name from our I-Team reports.
I told her that I heard something about it, so she pulled you guys up on Channel 4 and looked at it and just felt the need that, we definitely needed to make a call.
For Marl Marseille's family, it is a painful wound that is continuously reopened since his death in 2014. His daughter-in-law, Cindy, blames John and Amanda Rayan, who both own and operate Beaches Memorial Park. John Rayan's arrest, she says, was bittersweet.
What took so long? I honestly wanted to know why he wasn't arrested when this first came to light, and why his wife has not been arrested.
Marseille says once her father-in-law passed away, a Navy and World War II veteran, problems immediately started with the Rayans. His name was placed on a memorial for World War I veterans at the cemetery, not World War II. The family says they were told nothing could fix that. What's more, he was not cremated for 5 months after his death. And now the family says they're worried they don't even have his proper ashes.
I have no faith that the ashes that they buried, or whatever they buried, and the ones that we have in our home, that these are my father-in-law's remains.
Cindy Marseille now tells me she plans to take her father-in-law's ashes to an independent third party to verify if they are in fact human remains or dirt or something else. Beaches Recycling tells me those two markers are going to be picked up by police this coming Monday. And we also checked with investigators who say the markers had mistakes when they were initially sent from the U.S. government. And when they were made aware at the government level, they ordered the Rayans to send those markers back because they were government property. But now we know they did not. Reporting from Atlantic Beach tonight, I'm Lynnsey Gardner, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Lynnsey and Jen. And if you've had problems with Beaches Memorial Park or First Coast Funeral Home, call the I-Team at 479-NEWS or email iteam@newsforjacks.com.